Republican Congressman Peter Roskam called the Caterpillar CEO's letter a warning shot. You congressmen are on the House Ways and Means Committee, so you heard the CEO testify today about an international trade agreement. Congressman, you're well versed in Caterpillar's need to be competitive, but with the CEO kind of backing off the "we will move if you don't change" tone that was reported about his letter, what do you make of what he said?
No, I don't think so. I think when he says it's a very serious situation, it is a very serious situation. With the stroke of Governor Quinn's pen, Illinois moved from 20th in terms of tax rates in the United States, corporate tax rates, up to number 3. And you compound that in the fact that the U.S. has the highest corporate tax rate in the world. All of a sudden, you understand how companies are looking over the landscape and making decisions about where they should be positioned. Let me give you an example. I recently moderated a panel of 3 governors whom I'd never met before, and during the pre-consultation on the panel, they said, "Congressman, where are you from?" I said, "Well, I'm from Illinois." And they started laughing out loud in this conversation. One of them puts his hand on my shoulder and he said, "Congressman, you know I'm coming to O'Hare Airport. You know I'm going to try and compete and get companies to come to our state."
But no one's gotten any of our companies to move yet. And without the increase in the corporate tax and the income tax here, as was done recently, how would you propose paying some of these millions of dollars that are due to service providers who have done so in good faith with the state and haven't gotten paid? How would you propose paying them?
Look, I think the weakness, and this is the same debate that's happening in Washington, D.C., is what happens when spending is out of control. There's tremendous pressure then to raise taxes. And what does that do? That puts Illinois at a disadvantage. I got an email this evening
from
a supplier to Caterpillar who said the same thing. They said, if Caterpillar goes, Congressman, we're going with them.
But
we recently saw up on the North Shore.
But Caterpillar says they're not going. Caterpillar says, don't read so much into my letter. My question is, in the interim, even if we were to be able to lower taxes and spur business growth, what have you, that's kind of down the line. In the meantime, what would you do to come up with the money to get out of the hole the state is in? Or maybe what is the federal government?
Well, the hole's in a miserable. Listen, the state's in a miserable hole because of decisions that have been made to continue a spending binge that's out of control. The federal government is now borrowing 40 cents on the dollar, and my point is that if this isn't dealt with, if we continue to think that we can raise taxes on job providers without any consequence, we're kidding ourselves. So when Caterpillar, which employs 23,000 people, sends a shot across the bow, when Abbott, based on other things on the health care costs, says we're shutting down 1,000 jobs, this is a very, very serious situation.
I understand. But you still haven't told me how you would pay the bills that are outstanding right now that the state doesn't have the money to pay.
Well, neither. Look at where, with all due respect, what the governor has done. They're sort of kicking the can down the lane. They're not dealing with the underlying spending problems in state government, and the U.S. government is poised towards that same failure.
Well,
you've got to deal with the spending side and not tax folks to create an adverse environment for job creation.
Thank you so much, Congressman Peter Roskam, for joining us from Washington today. We appreciate it.